Hi, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to ask you to please subscribe, like, share with your mama, your mama's mama, your cousin, your auntie, your uncle, anyone, if you think it's something that would be valuable for them. So welcome back to part 2 of my summer experience, the summer that really kind of liberated me after making a big decision in my life. If you don't know what that big decision is, you should check out my previous videos and also part 1 of this. I talk a little bit about that. So the next big trip during the summer was our trip to Venice. I turned 35. My husband booked a trip for us to go to Venice. Now, I must say, Venice is a place that has always intrigued me. I think I've been intrigued by the gondola culture. We've seen it, you know, in movies and on Pinterest. So it's really fascinating. I was like, is there really such a place that exists that looks like this? And spoiler alert, there really is such a place that looks like this. We arrived, and on the mainland is where the airport is. You have to either take a cab or an Uber. We decided to take a bus. Was the most direct, really affordable, and it took us directly to where we needed to be. We got off at the bus station and just walked maybe 5 or so minutes to our hotel, which was really ideal for us. Now, we stayed on the end of the island that's not really tourist central, which I was so grateful for actually in the long run, because it was central, it was in the old town, and we got the absolute vibes, but then we got to escape the busyness of the crowds. Our hotel was really, I guess, Venetian, as you would expect. The carpet to the walls were decorated in this patterns that are obviously very reminiscent of Venetian design and architecture. It was, you know, the gold, the rustic mirrors, all of that. So we stayed on the top floor. We had views of the canals, which was really spectacular. We really loved our stay there. It was just a small boutique hotel, but really well done. We got off to explore. Now, when you're in Venice, I will tell you this. Google Maps ain't gonna always have it right for you. Google Maps is gonna lead you astray. We got astray so much. Like, there were so many times we thought we knew, especially when like the first and second day, when you don't really know your bearings. We're navigating our way through these Venice streets. Are you sure we're going the right way?
No, absolutely not. It's a lot of dead ends.
A lot of dead ends.
And Google is totally lost, so we just...
Google's like, we no understand.
Yeah.
No hablo, no hablo, Venice. I don't know.
Basically, she was to say, I don't speak Italian.
No, I don't speak Venice. That's what Google was saying. It's like,
oh, yeah.
It's too complicated for me. I suggest if you're in Venice, it's great for you to make note of landmarks so that you can figure your way back to a place. The island is set up in such a way that there are canals, as we all know, and you cross over them, but there are only limited number of bridges at certain points. And to get to main areas, you could also use the water taxi. There's water taxis, there's water bus. But for us, we felt that it was small enough to walk around, and we did want to see a lot of it. So we eventually learned to know our way around. So we walked around, had a wonderful time, you know, exploring, had a meal. Now, I must say, in terms of food, Venice isn't really known for typical Italian food. It's not known for pizza. It's not known for anything really specific, gelato, or anything like that. They do a black pasta, which is quite good. We did eat very well. But just bear in mind, it's not typical of like Italian food as you know it. Of course, they have Italian food, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't say it's a place to go if you want to eat your heart out, even though we did eat our heart out, which is a catch-22. So we arrived, we went for a walk, then we had a meal, and then we walked around and made our way to the famous bridge. I forgot its name. As I told you, I'm not good with names. That was insane. There were a lot of people around, and hence why I was so grateful that we got to stay where we were staying. It was such a relief. In the evening, we came home, we got dressed and went out for dinner. Dinner was horrible that night. I remember it was recommended, not good at all. And at that place, it felt like their wine, it's like they diluted the wine with water. I don't know what it was, but it was not it. So we definitely did not go back and would not recommend, but that was day one. Day two, we explored even more. We went to the square.
No sitting, please.
We got to see a little bit of even more the tourist places. It also started raining, I think. Yes, it started raining that day. We got caught in the rain and we had to run into we found this cute little brunch restaurant. It was ran by locals and we had a meal there, which was a welcome reprieve because a lot of the places we tried to get to were obviously full because all the tourists were running away from it. So we found this place closer to our hotel and had a wonderful meal there. Headed back to our room, saw a little Frida Kahlo tribute and took a pic by that. Then we just rested a little bit and then we got dressed and we decided to go find an art gallery, which for me was like one of my highlights in Venice. It was this modern art gallery, and this gallery, what I really liked about it, it wasn't busy at all, which, when people are tourists, they go to the typical places, but it was really, really spectacular because they had a lot of African artists there. And you know me, I'm a proponent of Africans, Blackness. You know, as Issa said, I'm rooting for everybody Black. It was really cool to see. It was cool to see artists from Zimbabwe as well. That was really, really nice. It was a nice surprise, and just the different forms of artistry, from painting to installation to anything you can imagine. And there was this really cool installation where they used hair. It was an African installation and they used hair to create this piece, which is really cool because, you know, as Black people, our hair is a big thing for us. That was definitely one of the highlights. And after that, we were on the hunt to find gelato. Now, Venice does not do gelato like the way we understand gelato to be done. I just want to put it out there. We had tried gelato the night before after dinner and it was really not that great. So then we found this well-rated place on Google Maps and there was a queue outside and I was like, okay, so it must be good. And it was really, really good. Maybe not as good as creme de la creme here in Prague. I must say creme de la creme is doing a really good job, but it was really, really yummy. So we were happy to find that. After that, we came back home, we got dressed and we were having my birthday dinner. For my birthday dinner, my husband took me to this really cute restaurant near our hotel, actually. It was hot, but as the sun set, we're looking at the canals and seeing all the gondolas go by.
La luta continua, baby?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
beautiful view.
It was just spectacular. Again, we ate a lot and had a fantastic time.
Enjoy.
Celebrating me. The restaurant was really good. Do recommend. And they offered us the fresh catch of the day, which was really nice and was really well done. After that, we walked around and then we looked for somewhere to have a drink. We ended up going to this rooftop bar. It was really not that great, stuck up, pretentious. So we literally had one drink left and we're like, okay, we out. We'll go somewhere else. We did find this other bar, which was well recommended on Google Maps eventually, and that was really cool. They had an interesting combination of drinks. I loved my drink. My husband didn't like his so much. I think it was just a combination, but it had a good vibe. So that was celebrating my birthday, and it actually wasn't my birthday at the time, but it was an early birthday trip. The final day, we decided to play super tourist and went to visit was it the museum or the castle? Something, I don't know what it's called. Luckily, we booked all our tickets online, so we didn't have to queue in the heat, which was A1. So definitely recommend, if you want to view all the typical sites, do book your tickets online first. After that, we went first we went up to the viewing point tower. That was really cool.
Hey, Baba. We've just been there on the top.
Got to see the whole of Venice, and it was just really beautiful. And then we went for the tour in the museum, which was really cool. Fun fact, if you've watched the latest Tom Cruise Mission Impossible, they filmed a huge chunk of that in that area. So it was cool to watch that movie after being in Venice and seeing all that. We also tried to find some more gelato, and we found another well-recommended place, which was really cool. Yeah, so we played real tourist that day. We also decided to go for a gondola ride, and let me tell you, these guys are hustlers. These gondoliers are hustlers, because we first went to inquire and this guy told us, okay, this is what it is. And we're like, okay, we'll look around and come back. We looked around and then we came back, and then it was a different story. He was trying to charge us more, and we're just like, dude, you said when we came it was this, so we're paying this. And they made us pay up front. And then at the end, they were like, oh, have you paid? And we're like, dude, yes, we paid. But we thought since we were there, might as well do the gondola ride. Ours was a very special gondola ride, I will have to say, because our gondolier, I think that's what you call them, was really hype. And he was like, do you want music? He was just hitting on women walking down the street. It was just loud. It was an experience. It was an interesting experience. Thankfully, we were young and went with the vibes. But as he was busy hitting on somebody, this guy was hitting on somebody walking, and I guess got distracted. He dropped the oar. So we lost our
No, don't worry.
paddle.
It's normal in Venice.
It's normal?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Don't worry.
It's being rescued by a
See,
fellow
because
gondolier.
it's a work in the water. Here.
There we go. We're being saved. Not only did he drop the oar, then he fell into the canal, and we're just like, what is happening? And you must know these gondolas are shaky, so we were like, do we stand up and help him? But if we stand up and help him, we also fall in or whatever. But he luckily managed to heave himself up. Special times, to say the least. He was a very happy lad, very happy guy. And and he talked a lot. He showed us places where they shot the Italian Job. They shot the Italian Job, yes. Direct entrance.
Yeah, it goes.
If any of you watched that with Charlize Theron, he asked to sing and we're like, no, we're fine. Then he started playing music on his radio, but it was really beautiful.
You see total on the right. The church is San Giacomo da Leio. San Giacomo, construction 1200.
Oh, cool. That's pretty old.
Something to do once, you don't need to do it more than once, I don't think. And then that evening we just went for dinner. I think we had pizza, which was actually quite good, surprisingly, and walked around and had a great evening. So that was Venice. Venice is really interesting. Would I go back to Venice? I think I have other places I would like to see first before going back to Venice. I think it's one of those, once you've seen it, it's kind of, you've seen it, because it also feels very much like locals don't live, not many locals live in the city, and so it doesn't feel as authentic as you'd like. It's kind of like, felt like Vegas, or if that makes sense, it gives you the vibe of this is made up. Obviously not made up, it's a real place and has history, but it's just really made for tourists, and they've had a lot of strain on the island because of tourism and so on and so forth. So I think once is enough if you want to go to Venice. Anyway, hope you enjoyed and look forward to chatting with you again for part 3 of summer 2023. See what I did there? Part 3, summer 2020. Anyway, thanks so much for tuning in and speak soon. Bye.